Good morning, it's me again, down in the basement. Um, this is the best place for me to do stuff because of just how it is with all the people. Due to Gigi deciding that hearing the toilet flush at 6 o'clock in the morning meant that it was a good time to get up. I am up super early getting stuff done. I just put my check in the bank and I'm now trying to figure out what I want to do with the monies. I like having my own money because then when things come up, I can just go deal with it. And I don't have to wait on other people to decide whether or not they want to deal with it. So I like that because I mean things it'll get done eventually, but I still like, especially with things like toilet paper, I want to get that done. So I got that going. And I'll probably get some more yarn so that I can work on some projects. I'm really wanting to do the Krakens, even though I'm not expecting them to sell too much because they are expensive. But I want to have them because those bigger sales are very important. And we're coming up on like Halloween and Christmas and all that. And people might want the big warm hat for events, trick or treating, costume parties, things like that. Um, Gigi's not in my lap because he's hearing my roommate get ready for work. Meow. Did you get your special Logan pets? Meow, you did? Okay. So today seems like a pretty good day. Um, trying to get stuff done. I need to call my booth and talk to them about the sales that they're going to do because I want to do a little bit better percentage. And then I might talk to them about how to do like a private sale, like if the whole booth is certain percent off. Because I might do some private sales if they're okay with it. Um, because I want to give my customers benefits if I can. I'm also considering making things a little cheaper, but I need to have a better income before I can really drop prices. Especially with things like the Krakens and the blankets, because yarn is still a little bit on the expensive side, though the prices have gone down. They were there for a while. I did not want to buy yarn because a pound skein was like $26 and a 7 ounce, or I mean, I don't think it's a full pound, but it was like the big skein was like $30, which is way too much for the products I use. And the 7 8 ounce skeins is like 15. I'm like, oh, that's fucking ridiculous. So I didn't want to spend that much money on it, but the prices are coming down. Like on Amazon, you can get the pounds, the big size. I keep saying pound. It used to be always pound, but now it's not. Unless like the solid would be a pound and the variegated would be like 14 ounces or something like that. And now I think the solid is 14 ounces and the big one is like 10 or 12 ounces, or the variegates are 10 or 12 ounces or something. It's I don't know. It's not my choice to do that. So whatever. Um, but yeah, the prices are coming down. I'm noticing Hirschner's and Joann's are having sales where you can get the Walmart pricing on the skeins, which is really rare because Joann's is usually a little bit more expensive than Walmart because it's just they're just a crafting store, and when you go to a specific specialty shop, they do tend to be a little bit more expensive. But it was when I lived next door to a Joann's, pretty much next door, it was actually more in my interest to buy there when I didn't have to go to work. So because it was right there, and they also had a bigger selection than Walmart. Because I worked at Walmart in Bellingham, and they had a decent yarn selection, but Joann's is much bigger because it is a crafting store, and that's part of the reason why they charge more than. But yeah, I still don't like to get polyfill at their store because it's expensive. But anyway, you can get crafting stuff. There's some pretty scary stuff being announced about the economy. It seems like the world economy, not just us. I'm hoping that we don't slip into what they recognize as a depression, but shit happens. So hopefully we'll be all right. There are 3 people working in the household, and my son has disability. And I just got a hold of a disability attorney, and they were telling me that I just need to fill out some paperwork for them, and then they'll see what they can do, but that it looks like this might be a case where they just make a couple calls from what they could see that correspond with the information I was giving them. It looked like they could just make a couple calls and maybe I'll be on it. And I'm hoping that it's that easy because then I should be able to get approval by September. But I'm not expecting it to be that easy because it's a government agency and yeah, dealing with government agencies in good times is difficult. When the things start to get a bit rough, the attitudes come out. Um, and I'm not really sure why that is. And I think it is a lot to do with the customers that they're dealing with. Like a lot of people are desperate and they'll just freak out if they even ask for paperwork. So, or confirmation or something, it's just crazy. I'm not like that. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just trying to figure it out. Um, and I want to try to figure it out as positively as possible. Um, but yeah, and I might be shutting down my Facebook sales page because I added some items on there and I didn't get anything out. Nobody responded outside of my friends list. So I'm assuming that nobody's interested at all. So I might just take that off. It's also that it's not a specific business, so people might be a little leery about that too. But yeah. He must have forgot something. Oh well. Um, so what else am I gonna try to say today? My birthday's coming up, so I might look into doing a sale at the store for that, though it might not be. I might not have given them enough time, which is fine. But yeah, I'm gonna look into sales, more percentages than, because when when the booth does 10%, the store-wide sale, it's automatically 10% unless you say it's more. And I want to look into saying that it's more, and those sales are going to be October 1st and 2nd because that's their anniversary sale, and then the Black Friday sale I think is 3 days. I can check. I like having this. That can go away. I already cashed that. It's worthless now. Okay, so the Black Friday sale or pre-Black Friday sale is the 19th and the 20th of November. So yeah, I might talk to them about other sales. And just so that I can help the people get the things to help the economy keep going, and I can also get myself to where I need to be. I might have to take some hits on the yarn, on the sales. I do have tons of scrap yarn that I've had for who knows how long, and as I'm going through these yarns, I'm finding all kinds of stuff I didn't even know I still had, stuff that I thought I lost years ago. So I'm just going through and trying to get as much done as possible. So the doing the sales isn't going to be that big a deal. The only problem is with the new yarns, getting the new stuff for, like I said, the Krakens and stuff like that. Hopefully people will get me yarn for my birthday. That's always a really good thing to do. And I don't know, cause like the Krakens, it takes a full. I don't think it's a full pound, but it takes the bigger size skein, solid color, to make the outside. So be like, I keep saying pound. It used to be a pound, so that's why my brain is having little problems adjusting it. But it takes the big size skein for the main color, and then you want the medium size skein for the tentacles. So that'd be like I think it's 14 ounces at least, and then the 7 ounces at least. And then like if I'm using like specialty yarns like the sparkles, like I love doing the sparkles, then that makes it more expensive because that stuff's just expensive, and a lot of it, like the party, it's just this little like 3 ounce skein, and I need like 2 of them, almost whole 2 of them to do one Kraken. And so I've got one that's not finished because I ran out of yarn. But my son ordered the yarn that I need for that, so I should be able to finish that. And I can probably get more yarn. I told my son-in-law if he wants to get me a birthday present, what I'd like to get, because I want to get some of the orange. I think it's called Flame, or Red Heart calls it Flame. I think the others companies will call it something different, orange or whatever. But yeah, I told them to get me that, and because it's inexpensive. I haven't really talked to the roommate about my birthday because I'm not really sure how to bring it up. He's not really a big gift doer, so but that's fine. He's got a lot on his plate too, so things are just hard for everybody right now, I guess. So that's the thing. But we can get through this if we're positive. We need to make smarter choices about a lot of things. I don't know what's going on big picture. Um, I know there's a lot of like geopolitical stuff that doesn't have anything to do with you or me. It's all like the politics, and I don't think the politicians are going to be watching me because they think they know more than I do, when there are some things I probably know more than they do, but I'm not in a position of power, so I can't really do anything about it. Um, but yeah, if I can get somewhere good, if we can all just not be crazy, make sure people are paying their rent and their utilities and buying their food and whatever that they need before they're getting a Buzzy Bee or something like that that's maybe just a fun extra, then we should be fine for the most part. Landlords will probably be willing to work with you as long as they're getting payments. You talk to them beforehand, they should be fine. Um, I don't know about the utilities, but it just depends on who's in charge of what. But yeah, I find that in general, they oftenly, any debt oftenly is more willing to work with you when you can explain what's going on and why you can't keep up the way you would like. And that's just make sure you're dealing with your bills first. Make sure you're putting that food on the table first. Make sure the clothes are on your kids' back first. You know, that kind of stuff. You're ready for work first. That's all that good stuff first. That's something to remember. I mean, people even remembered that during the Depression because you had people living in homeless shelters or homeless fields, kind of like what we got going over here. And that's been a mess. Um, but back then they weren't drug addicts and mental patients. It was people who were legitimately down on their luck. So they'd hang up like sheets to give each other privacy, and they would just try to get out of the field. The whole thing was to try to get out of the field. So you'd see a mom or two with like 15 kids corralling all the kids from their camp so that the other adults can go to work, the adults who are maybe more able to go to work. And then that would help get the people off the fields, out of the fields. And like the people that are watching the kids would get some money. And for watching the kids, obviously, you're going to need to make sure that things are being taken care of, that there's food on their tables, all that good stuff. So that was something. But I'm hoping we don't get to that point, and I'm hoping we can figure things out. Maybe if I can get to a point where I can get at least my bed and my bills paid off, because I do have some debts, that I'd really like to take care of, and I'm just trying real hard to figure out all this stuff that I need to do to make my life better, and maybe I can figure out how to make something better. I can donate to a charity, or I can even come up with a charity. I don't know how to do that though, but I know that where there's a will, there's a way, and there's some agency somewhere that knows how to do that. So, and there probably is already an existing charity in my area that's for what I'd want to do. So I could probably like give money to something that's existing or buy things for these charities, like the back to school charities, the feeding charities, charities that do housing, charities that do Christmas, Easter, and needs based for people. That's the kind of stuff I'd like to do, especially with the economy getting so shitty. Um, I can't really do much about it because, like I said, it seems like it's a global thing. Like with the Great Depression, people think that the American economy crashed and everybody else followed, but no, it was everybody. That was the we got hit with some unusual weather at the same time that there was a global stock market crash. And I think that might be what's going on here now. That though I know that the weather in the US isn't too terribly unusual. But I'm watching, my son watches these weather programs, and Europe's basically burning. They're having really unusual storms for them, and because of the way things work now, we're dependent on each other. We're dependent on buying goods from each other. So if something happens in Europe, it's going to affect us. Maybe not as much as um, it affects Europe, but it'll still affect us. Some things like because things will get more expensive because certain things aren't easy to get because they were grown in Greece and Greece is on fire. Um, Stuff like that. And I don't know if it's still on fire because my son's a couple weeks behind, but I am noticing that there is unusual weather at the same time where we're looking at a global stock market problem. Um, like I said, I don't know how to fix these problems. I don't think I can. I'm just one little person who barely matters right now. So I don't think I can. But I know if enough people get information, we can fix it together. Um, but it's going to take a while. And things are probably going to get pretty rough. And that's something. Um, oh, yeah, I was thinking, like, things get hard to get. And even, like, we, as America, who isn't being as affected as some other places, we might have to sell more of our products to another country, which would make it harder to get things or make it more expensive here. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I mean, I've noticed that the grocery store prices have gone up a little bit. My mom likes to exaggerate. She's saying it's like 2 or 3 times more. It's not. It's a few dollars more on some products, especially meat. I don't really know why the meat's going up. It just is. Um, I noticed that milk went from $2.99 to $3.34, which isn't that much of an increase. So, just be careful. I careful shop anyway. I like to get the cheaper products and because they last longer. But I know a lot of times it's hard to get them because other people like to do that too. It's less on their pocketbook and it'll last them longer. So, just be smart about things. Like I said, keep your bills paid and stay housed because if you can stay housed, if you can keep healthy and stay housed, you will be fine. A lot of people during the depression were fine, and the area that I'm from was farming, so they were even really affected. They just accept that they were expected to produce more because the crops that got completely destroyed by the Dust Bowl. So my area that I'm from was completely unfazed by the depression, except that it was harder to get certain things like clothing, um, because it was expensive. But as far as food, keeping the bills paid, they were fine. So farming communities are probably gonna be fine. Um, but it's still gonna be hard. So let's try to stay sane and not be crazy because I noticed yesterday Spokane was wild and out. I know that's why they were calling it, that's why some people call it Spokompton. It's just wild and out yesterday. I don't know what the hell was going on, if there was actually something happening or if people were just going crazy. Um, they found a guy killed across the street from the Fred Meyers, which is the store that I shop at, and I was really glad that I didn't have to go shopping yesterday because I could have been outside when he was actually killed. I mean, I'm not saying that I would have been shot, but I'm just saying that's not something I'm prepared to deal with. um, in and then apparently they took 3 or 4 bodies out of the homeless camp, and people were running around with guns, threatening people. And I don't know what the hell. Like I said, I don't know if there was actually something going on yesterday, and I was just out of the loop because that happens sometimes, or if people were just wilding out because things aren't going the way they want. And it just happened to be that a number of people hit the breaking point at the same time. Um, I don't know what's going on. I'm really hoping that people can just calm down and we can get through this if we're calm. We can help each other out, we can help Europe out, and we just need to do what we need to do to take care of ourselves, make sure that the important stuff is taken care of first and then buy stuff from people like me. I really don't care if my sales are low because other people need to pay rent. That's why I'm talking to. That's why I want to talk to the booth about the sales, increasing my sales percentage when they do their sales, and maybe talk to them about the possibility of doing my own sales. Um, so that we can try. I can try to do what I need to do, and also help people do what they need to do. Because that's what community is about, and we're a global community whether we like it or not. So we need to act like we're community. It's I know it's hard sometimes. We don't know what people want, or they just come up to you. But this is what it is. A lot of people are stressed out. We need to keep ourselves safe. We need to be as stable as we can through this, and then we'll get through it. We will. It'll be fine. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll be fine. I just feel like it's gonna be fine. Probably gonna be rough, but it's gonna still be okay. I'm gonna head off, and because I got to do stuff today. I've gotta do some laundry. Gotta call my store. I gotta, maybe buy some stuff. um, um, yeah, I've gotta do stuff today, so I'm gonna go. Hi, sweetheart. I'm gonna go get on that, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day, and tell me what kind of ideas you guys have for making it through a tough economy. Bye.